Another edition of Pub Politics. We are barreling through the month of July, folks. August will be here before you know it.
Yes, sir.
Wes on the Republican side, Phil Bailey on the Democratic side. Guys, when we had our last segment, there were still a couple of vetoes the Senate had to decide on. So veto madness is now over for another year. Let's go over just real quick, in your opinions, Wes and Phil. And Phil, I'm going to start with you this time. Winners, losers, give me your takeaway from the big veto fight last week.
Well, I mean, certainly the winners are the state's teachers who need it and deserved. Pay raise will be coming their way, that despite Governor Haley's efforts to cut that. The Arts Commission, again, the doors are open. They're funded. The Rape Crisis Center across the state survived her cut. So, I mean, those are the real winners across the state.
Wes?
Yeah, I don't disagree there. Teachers obviously are a big winner. They did deserve that raise, as we both said last time around. You know, the loser, I think, is, again, the Republican Party. I mean, we just keep ripping ourselves right in half. You know, every time the governor makes these kind of vetoes, she goes back saying, hey, there's these good old boys in the legislature that wants to fight me. And it's just causing this complete tear within our party. And going into an presidential election cycle, we got to be solid. We got to be coalesced so we can take out President Obama. And right now, it's just not looking real pretty in South Carolina.
And we talked about that last week, about just so much divisiveness, governor, Democrats, Republicans, and it doesn't look like it's getting better anytime soon.
No, it really scares the heck out of me, man. I mean, we're going into a year where I'm responsible for getting Republican state senators elected, him trying to get Democrats elected, and, you know, I would actually give him the upper hand in a lot of our swing districts right now for the simple fact that our guys are just like this, and the Democrats are coming together and singing Kumbaya. I just wish we could get our crap together and play along a little bit.
Are you leading the chorus of that singing, Phil, by the way?
I haven't sang Kumbaya in a long time. I think I have or have. No, I mean, we're Democrats have been constantly saying this, that the Republicans are in charge of Columbia, and the gridlock that's associated with Columbia is their fault. I mean, they've had control of state government, complete control of state government for over a decade now. And what have they accomplished? Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Republican Party just become too big. If we had the majority by like 1, we would actually get a lot more done because we would all come together like the Democrats had. The problem is we become so big that we actually fight each other instead of fighting the Democrats. So we split like this, or Democrats come right up the middle and beat us on a lot of legislation, and it sucks, but that's what's happening here in South Carolina.
It should be interesting next couple of months as we get to the November election. I want to touch on the tragic situation that happened in Colorado with the movie theater shooting, but what it's done is once again, it's brought the whole gun control, gun rights debate into the public consciousness. I mean, not just in Colorado, but you're seeing it on national TV, the cable shows. Everyone seems to have an opinion. When something like this happens, Wes, is it just a simple black and white gun control, gun rights? I mean, can you take every instance like this and then say, well, here's why guns are bad, or here's why guns, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but this isn't a fight the Democrats want. Listen, the far left, people like Dianne Feinstein in California are going to say those kind of things, but you're not going to see that in the swing states. And Barack Obama doesn't want that, because when you go on places like Florida, North Carolina, some of these other swing states, they're strong gun states. Even South Carolina, I would imagine my friend Phil here, as a Democrat, has more guns than me. And in fact, you know, we say we're good buddies. We often go out for what we call Second Amendment Sundays. Right. We actually go out with a lot of buddies and go hunting. But
I'm a better shot.
He is much better, much better. My point is, Democrats, even here in South Carolina, don't want this fight.
I caution against going out in this debate. I mean, it happens every time, and I don't think anything comes out of it. I think it's healthy to have a national discussion on it, but I really don't see any kind of substantive policy changes coming out of this.
It's not an easy answer, because I heard someone say the other day, well, we outlawed murder years ago, but it still happens. So, I mean, if you take, I guess that's what I'm saying. There's really not an easy answer to the gun debate, because if someone wants to go out and do this, aren't they going to find guns anyway?
Yeah, if it's not a gun, they're gonna pack up a van full of explosives and drive it into a building like Timothy McVeigh did, or or find airplanes to crash into buildings. If someone wants to kill a bunch of people, they're going to figure out a way to do it. Outlawing guns, I don't think most people realize at this point that's not really the solution here.
Phil, I'll give you the last word.
I mean, guns, firearms, and that culture is just part of us as Americans. The constitutional rights protecting that, and I just, it's healthy to have this discussion, but I really don't see any substantive policy changes.
And just real quick, I'll give the flip side of the argument too as well. When you talk about the founding fathers, I don't know if the founding fathers, though, Wes, wanted people carrying around assault rifles either.
You know, there is a big substantive debate about
Sure.
you know, assault weapons, semi-automatic weapons. A lot of people have that big fight, and that is definitely is an argument. But you know, again, in this presidential year,
Sure.
this is not. I agree with Phil. Anything you're going to see a big policy change on right now.
Right. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Obviously, it's something that it's one of those topics we continue to talk about, and I'm sure we'll talk about it as the years go on, really, because it never seems to end. PubPoliticsLive.com is the website. Usually these guys are somewhere every Wednesday night, but you can check the website to find out the schedule, who the guests are.
We might have you on this week. We're talking about
There's a rumor
maybe
that this Wednesday that might happen.
To
but
be
anyway,
announced.
To be announced. PubPoliticsLive.com is the website. Wes and Phil, as always, thanks for coming by. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, back to you.